This is episode 1 of building mobile apps without writing a single line of code. Today we are going to build a shopper's rewarding platform. We have been provided with almost 40 plus UI screens along with clear design guidelines to develop this application. Using these guidelines and UI elements, we are going to build the application and I'm going to explain each and every concept in a detailed manner. Before starting the development, let's understand this layout concept. So, the UI development and app development are completely different. So, in UI development, you can drag and drop elements wherever you want in the canvas and the element will stay there. But in application development, you can't just drag and drop elements. You have to use certain layout concept. So the main three layout concepts which will help us develop the application are column, row and stack. If you want to place objects one below another, you will use the column layout. If you want to place elements next to each other, you will use the row element. And if you want to place one element on top of another, then we will use stack element. For development of the mobile application, I'm gonna use the tool called Flutterflow. There is a weekly webinar which I conduct where I teach many basic mobile application development concepts. And what is the reason I'm using the tool is also covered in the webinar because this tool will help us develop full-fledged applications including APIs and backend. So now let's get started with the development of home screen. I'm gonna use a container to design our top bar. All the elements of the top bar will be added to this container. I'm adjusting the properties here where I add the width and height of the container. Inside the container, I'm placing a row element. And inside the row element, now I'm adding a widget called circle image. And I am adjusting the size of the circle image widget based on our design guidelines. Now I'm gonna change the image from our assets and upload the image given to us from our UI team. Next to the image, I'm gonna add a column layout. The reason I'm adding column layout is to place two text one below each other. Now I'm gonna edit the text based on our UI. Once the text are edited, I'm gonna change the properties and make it align based on our initial designs. I'm gonna edit the size of the text to match our initial designs here. I'm gonna change the font size and font color based on the initial designs. So I'm changing this text here to bold to match our design. And now I want them to be left aligned. Okay, alright, now the design matches our UI. Next to this text, now I am adding a container. The reason I am adding a container is container is a widget which can be designed with any colors or any shape. So we are going to have a container here which will show the user's reward point. So I will adjust the container's color as well as the border radius to match our UI design. Let me add some padding here. Inside the container, now again I'm gonna add a row widget. Inside the row widget, now I'm gonna add two elements. One is an image to place our rewards icon, and next to the image, I'm gonna add a text widget to display the rewards coins. Now I will adjust the image based on our UI and change the asset from our design. So next to the image, I will add a text widget now and edit it. I will add the properties based on our UI design. I will make it bold and increase the font size and add some padding. Next to the container, I will add an icon where a notification icon will be placed. This option in the future we will add some backend work to display all the notifications. In this first episode, I am only focusing on the UI development. The API development and the backend development will be done in the later episodes. Here I will change the properties of the notification icon to match our initial UI designs. Almost our top bar is completed now. So let's move on to the carousel image. Below the top bar, now I'm placing a widget called carousel. I'm changing the properties of the carousel to match our initial XD design. I'm changing the viewport to 0.75 here. The viewport means like how much space the image should take in the mobile screen. So 0.75 indicates 75% of the screen. I'm changing the assets here to match our initial XD designs. That's all for today's episode. We have completed the top bar and the carousel image. I'll see you again in episode 2 where we continue the home screen development.